This brand started about 5 years ago. Sula, and the owner, Rajiv Samant, is Indian, but he worked for many years in California in the IT business. And he visited lots and lots of California wineries, and once he'd made his fortune, he's a young man, he's probably in his mid-50s, but once he'd made his fortune in California, he came back to create Sula Vineyards, and he's got a California winery in Nashik. He's got a theatre, he's got an open theatre like a Roman theatre. He gives jazz concerts and rock concerts. He's got an hotel, he's got a big restaurant, and he is the most powerful winemaker now in India. Before Sula, the winemaking, with the exception of the Grover wines, was not really that good. And Rajiv employed a European and Indian winemaker. He built a new cellar. He really upped the game. So if Indian wines are as good as they are now, it's greatly due to him. And he's the man to beat.
Wow.
And there are people beating him, but they're not going to beat Rajiv in terms of size. So the colour Chenin Blanc comes from the Loire Valley, not the middle, not the central Loire where Sancerre and Puy-Fumé come from, but from the middle of the Loire, rather like Anjou, around there. But the colour's quite full, nice greeny yellow colour, so that looks fresh. Darker colour than the Sauvignon Blanc, well, more full colour than the Sauvignon Blanc, which one would expect. It's got a much more interesting nose.
Yeah, very, very different nose.
That kind of slight quince, slight, I think, unripe plums, but this is a Chenin Blanc nose. Chenin Blanc is slightly honey and flowers, with a lot of acidity.
You get a lot of that honeyed fruits on the nose.
Yeah,
very different,
that's
very nice.
And that has evident sweetness on the palate, but that's the style of wine. Chenin Blanc when it's made too dry, Vouvray sec, for instance. Chenin Blanc, when it's made too dry, can be a little bit austere, a little bit green, a little bit vertical, like that. And so what you have here, you have a wine which is richer, has a bigger volume on the palate than the Sauvignon Blanc, which one would expect. It's also richer in sweetness. It's not sweet, but it's off-dry.
Click on the bottles that you see for an individual tasting review by Stephen and myself.